I told my parents that they would not be a part of my life and that they should keep up their relationship with my ex and kids from that marriage. I married Nicole at 26. She already had 2 kids, Owen and Maddie, 3 and 5 at the time. Their dad wasn't around, so I stepped in. I never once thought of them as anything but mine. School drop-offs, teaching Owen to ride a bike, dance recitals in a folding chair that killed my back. Nicole's parents and mine had been best friends since college. That's how we met. So when my marriage fell apart, it wasn't just my wife on one side, it was 2 families with 30 years of history behind her. I found Nicole was cheating in March. A hotel receipt in her jacket pocket. Dated for a Tuesday, she said she was working late. She barely denied it, said I'd been distant. We'd been fighting about money for a year. I told my parents I was filing for divorce. My mom's first question wasn't, "Are you okay?" It was, "What about Owen and Maddie?" My dad said I was throwing away a family over one mistake. I told him it was months. A coworker named Phil, lying to my face. My mom said those kids need a father. I stood in her kitchen thinking, I never legally was their father, and nobody in that family let me forget it when it suited them. Nicole fought the divorce hard, not because she wanted me back, but to bleed me for spousal support. My lawyer was good. I walked away owing nothing, since I had 0 legal claim to kids that weren't biologically mine. We split the rest 50-50. She kept the house. I wanted out clean. My parents called me evil. My dad's actual word, in his garage where he always had his serious talks. Evil for not paying support for kids that weren't mine. Evil for leaving a woman who'd cheated on me for 6 months. I hung up on him. First time in my life. I took a remote job offer and moved 4 hours away that summer. New apartment, new gym, a grocery store where nobody knew my name. It was lonely for months, but quiet in a way my head needed. My parents kept texting pictures. Owen at soccer, Maddie holding a report card. No caption, just the photo, like they were trying to guilt me through the screen. I blocked the number. They got a new one from my aunt within a week. I blocked that too. It went on for 4 months before they got the message. My cousin told me my parents were still doing Sunday dinners with Nicole's family like nothing changed. They'd picked kids I raised but didn't share blood with, over their own son. I stopped asking about that part of my life. 2 years after the divorce, I met Paige at a coworker's wedding. Her family never made me feel like damaged goods over my past. We married last spring. 3 months ago, we had our son, Eli. I hadn't spoken to my parents in almost 3 years. Then in early July, a number I didn't recognize called. I picked up out of habit. It was my mom. She'd heard from my aunt I had a baby boy and said her and my dad wanted to meet their grandson. I told her, "You already have 2 grandchildren, Owen and Maddie. Go spend time with them." She got quiet, then said this one was different. This was their real grandchild, their blood. Something in me went cold hearing that. I said no and hung up. 2 weeks later, on a Saturday, our doorbell rang. Paige answered while I was upstairs with Eli. I came down to find my parents on our porch with a wrapped stuffed elephant, tag still on it. My mom talked fast, said they'd driven 4 hours and just wanted 5 minutes. My dad stood behind her, quiet, which wasn't like him. I asked how they got my address. My aunt gave it to them. I asked about Owen and Maddie, just to see what she'd say. That's when it came out. Nicole had remarried last year to a guy named Brad, who didn't want his stepkids close with anyone from her old marriage. My parents hadn't seen Owen or Maddie in 8 months. Brad cut them off the same way I had, except they had no legal ground to stand on, because on paper they were nothing to those kids. So that was it. They weren't here because they missed me. They were here because they'd lost the grandkids they picked over me, and Eli was the only door still open. I told them, standing on my own porch with my son upstairs, that they would not be a part of my life. I told them they'd picked Nicole's family a long time ago, so they should go keep up whatever relationship they could salvage with her and with Owen and Maddie, because that's who they chose. That door was theirs, not mine. My mom started crying, said I was punishing them. I said no, Brad already did that, and closed the door. Paige and I watched from the window. My dad picked the gift bag off the step and walked to the car. My mom sat in the driveway 20 more minutes before he pulled out. Monday morning I called a lawyer and had a letter drafted, spelling out that any further contact, at my home, by phone, or through relatives, counted as harassment. I mailed it myself.